The first person I would like to talk about that I think WWE has fumbled is Malachi Black, aka Aleister Black. This is one I think everyone can agree on. Bro had a great move set, good finisher, and was decent on the mic. He goes to AEW and gets put in stories way better than when he was in WWE. He also improved on his mic skills as well when he has been in AEW, and has been on a lot of 5-star matches. The second person I will be talking about is Buddy Murphy, aka Buddy Matthews, who in WWE had a good story and gimmick when he was with Seth Rollins, but other than that they never gave him any belt, not even a mid-card title. Even when he was over with a lot of the fans, he was so good in the ring, just like Malachi Black had a great move set and was good on the mic. He went to AEW and he joins Malachi Black's group and are putting on good stories and matches in AEW. Next up, Keith Lee. If you were watching WWE in 2019, then you know how much fans were trying to push Keith Lee to the main roster. I mean, during the NXT vs. SmackDown vs. Raw, Keith Lee stole the show and fans were all on his side. Also, for a big guy, Keith Lee moved way too quick for his size and was good on the mic, and he never really got a chance to show main roster fans what he could do before he was gone. In AEW, he has a good with Swerve Strickland, who I will talk about in this video. Had great matches and promos with a lot of people. It's unfortunate that Vince never saw the talent. The next person I want to talk about is Toni Storm. The reason I think WWE fumbled Toni Storm is you see how good she is doing over in AEW, one of the best women's wrestler and one of the best gimmicks with timeless Toni Storm, and is a great in-ring worker. Also is good on the mic. Has put on a lot of good matches. WWE never really gave her a good gimmick or a chance to show what she can do on the mic or what she can do in the ring. Now, I got a lot to say when it comes to how WWE fumbled Samoa Joe. I mean, how do you not give the guy who destroyed people on the mic and in the ring one of the top titles, not the WWE Championship or Universal Championship? At least they did let him win the US title, but that's it. He goes to AEW and puts on bangers and gets the TNT title twice and the AEW Championship once. WWE just fumbled him by not giving him any of the top titles and only giving him 2 US titles, and that's it. He put on so many good matches and didn't get the WWE Championship at least once in his WWE career. I know for Dolph Ziggler he won a lot of titles, but the last 9 years of his career in WWE, they just left him to tag titles and mid-card titles, even had him in NXT winning NXT tag titles and NXT Championship, and they only gave him the top title 2 times, and the first time only 7 days, and second reign didn't even reach 70 days. Dolph Ziggler was the best seller, great move set, and was good on the mic, and he was stuck on the mid-card over half of his career. They could have gave him a couple more main titles, or at least longer reigns. The next person I'm talking about is Pac, aka Neville. Pac had a lot of hype coming to the main roster for his debut in 2015 because of how good he was in the ring and he was decent on the mic, but with all the hype he had, WWE decided to only put the WWE Cruiserweight Championship on him, which didn't really mean anything. When he went to AEW, he has shown why WWE should have used him better while he was there, because he puts on great matches. How I could go on for so long on how WWE fumbled Cesaro, we would be here for a while, but this guy was a beast in the ring. His moveset was so good. He was good on the mic, and WWE gave him only 1 singles title in a 10-year career, and it was only the US title at a point where it meant nothing in WWE, and they put the guy who put on great matches in a tag division for most his career when he could have broke out as a great singles wrestler. Adam Cole is up there as one of WWE's biggest fumbles ever. Just like Keith Lee in 2019, this guy had so much support and hype from the fans to debut after putting on so much good matches in NXT, but they didn't really use him at all and only had him on the main roster for about a year before he left. They also tried to have him as a manager, one of the greatest in ring workers, and they almost put him as a manager for Keith Lee. Next person is Jon Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose. The reason they fumbled Dean is because he always had good matches and great mic work, and they just ended his career in WWE with terrible stories and horrible booking to the point he had to leave or his career would have been done. Now, they did give him some titles in his career, but they only gave him the top title once in an almost decade-long career, when he was part of one of the best factions in WWE history. They ended his career with a horrible gimmick. The reason I have Swerve Strickland on here is because when he was added to the group Hit Row, that's when people really started to care about them, but when they got on the main roster, they barely used them, and when he left, they ruined that group. Well, in AEW, Swerve has shown how good he is and why WWE shouldn't have got rid of him with the great stories with Keith Lee and Samoa Joe. Also, the great matches he's been having over in AEW. There is still a lot of people I could talk about, like of recent, Ricochet and Dijak. People still on the roster like Cedric who they don't use, but I just put the small example of people.